Stream.
Oh dear. Now everybody knows our secret insider talk. Do not watch.
Please, everybody, file to the left as you get your Illuminati lanyards. This is secret insider talk.
Yeah. You know what? Let's do welcome to Lanyard chat.
Yeah,
your number one
that's the
source.
most interesting part of that sentence was the lanyards.
I mean, I'm glad somebody said the quiet
Let's
part out
finally
loud.
get it out there. Yeah,
I mean,
we're
look,
into lanyards.
You're thinking it. I'm thinking it. Lanyards.
Protocols and the elders of lanyards.
Everybody's is sitting under the thumb screws of Big Lanyard.
Yep.
Want you, you know, the safety pin lobby used to have a lock on that shit, and then
No.
Big Lanyard came along.
And then Dumont shut him down.
Dumont, the creator of the television set, or
Yeah.
DuPont?
No, yo, you think DuPont's making the
Well,
moves?
I mean, I don't know.
Dumont secret behind the scenes, making all the decisions.
What is the difference between Dumont and DuPont?
brother?
If you need to ask.
You can't afford it.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Doe is
dumb. Oh,
Yep.
it's getting smarter every second.
there. There it is.
It's getting
We
smarter.
got it.
Getting
got it.
smarter all the
We got it.
time.
There it is. Yeah.
What's up, chat? What's up, chat?
Hello, Annalisa. Hello, G. James B. Hello, Dylan Theus. Hello, Linux Gemini. Hello,
going on,
Link5963. Oh, yes, it
going
is
on?
Brian Brushwood. You know it to be true. Hello, Toby Callan. Hello, Isle. Hello, Meryl Barr. Hello, Monkey K. Hello, Elliot. Hello, Matt Taylor. In for the lanyards, see?
In
the
for a lanyard?
real ones know
Yeah.
the power of lanyards.
In for a
compel you.
Spaniard. In for a Spaniard. In for a lanyard.
In for a lanyard, become
In
a
for-
Spaniard.
You're becoming
Have
a
sex
Spaniard.
with a Spaniard.
Yep. You're gonna get
That
busted. You're gonna,
classic conundrum.
you're gonna get broke off in the Vosotros form. That's what you're
Big
gonna do.
Vosotros, bringing it back.
You're gonna catch some of that Iberca.
Non-ironic. Shit. Am I glowing? I think I'm glowing.
Damn, listen,
When
honey.
you got that glow. Yeah, we were talking about. There we go. Wait. There we go.
Looking for a couple things to say to you.
Growing. Showing.
Damn.
Mm,
Oh,
yeah,
wait. It's episode 200 today.
Right on. We did it.
Well, should we wait for the show? This isn't the
No,
show yet? is it?
celebration should be a quiet affair. We should reflect on what we've done. and ask ourselves, have we made the world a better place? Who is to say?
Don't say. Think. It's like a prayer. All right. Illuminati's, pyramids, lanyards, Spaniards. Yeah.
Pyramids, lanyards, Spaniards. It is kind of like a Beastie Boys
It
song.
is. Somebody-
Illuminati periods. Periods.
The Illuminati periods.
Could you hear that?
Yes, I did.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna be changing the name of the show.
Yep.
200 episodes in.
Yep. It's
kinda
finally
done it.
time to
Yeah.
reveal
It's
our,
about time
our
that
new
we
form.
don't like names for too long.
We're
a lot like truckers. Like we have multiple families.
We have
like,
alts?
Yeah, we have alts.
People are like, man, that sounds like some night attack shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
What, NSFW? Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Are we, I'm trying to position us kind of both. Yeah, we're fine.
I think we're good.
We're fine.
If I go like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jiba Jabba.
Jeeba
You want to
Jabba.
elaborate on Jiba Jabba?
Jeeba Jabba.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, he's up in the palace and
Oh yeah.
yeah, Chiba Jabba's. Yeah.
That's one of his homies.
That's Chiba Jabba.
Chiba Jabba.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Chiba Jabba is sitting there in his palace talking to all of his slaves, and he's like,
This is the one, real quick, Ryer, that I was wondering, is this just blowed out? Does this look blowed out? Or is it an impossible task to make both of us...
Otherwise, would I just be a negative.
Oh, you know what?
man.
Here, look at this. It looks less blowed out there.
Yeah.
It's a little less blowed out on the stream. You
Yeah.
are glowing though.
Well,
So, congratulations. I'm really excited for you.
Do you want? Oh, you know what we could do? Here, I got an idea. What if we took this light and aimed it more at the person who was darker, so
Yeah.
it wasn't blowing out the guy?
The person who's so bright. Yeah.
Dead Pope, Elder Scrolls release, Justin and Brian rename the show. What year is this? And I know it does have very 2020 or 2013 vibes, 2012 vibes.
I'm here for it. I seem to remember the next like 5 to 7 years are pretty great.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think.
how about now?
Am I blown out? That's fine. I can handle it.
No,
It's
yeah.
about time I
Here.
got blown.
No, look at that.
Been a
I think
while.
we're equal.
Yeah.
It looks pretty good. Yeah, it's good. For what you're doing, I think it's great.
You know, no, it's great. It's great. We're
I
all
think
really
the one
impressed.
thing about my current look is that I'd make a very good bust.
Oh yeah. Are you kidding me?
Like, I'd
if
make
you're
a very
ever going to
good-
be a
I'd make-
dictator,
I'd-
now's the time.
Yeah, I'd make a very good. If you just took and made my head out of marble, it would be like, damn, that's a hell of a marble head.
I agree.
Yeah,
Yep, straight marbling, hard as a rock.
Marble madness.
Yeah, I feel like we're wound up.
Let's
we're
go.
primed.
Well, we're ready, man.
All right.
We're edging.
How are we?
I'm ready to push record and play the song whenever you are.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I mean it this time. I'm gonna disconnect. I'm gonna turn this phone right face down. And I'm gonna ignore all these panic texts I'm getting. Although I'm gonna check real quick to see if. Okay. Pretty bad.
What is it?
A lot of people. And one dude. Crushing. Huh. All right. Well, we'll find out. All right. There we go. Ready.
Set.
Are you ready for satire?
Edge it up.
I'm
Edge it
edging,
on up.
babe. There you
Edge
go.
it on up.
Still within reach.
There we go. Just in case.
Oh, hello there, Internet. I didn't see you. Always sneaking up on me with all of your hidden layers upon layers, popular cultural references. You know it's Tuesday night, 422. It's so good we did it twice. It is go time for a great night. I'm Brian Brushwood, joined as always by my inimitable co-host, the better half of my brain, Justin Robert Young. Hello there. Oh my goodness, I didn't see you. I'm blind. My character is surprised by the internet. And you, who I just introduced. Unless it's not you.
Meow.
Oh, don't worry. It's just a harmless kitty cat.
Meow.
So fluffy. Hello, you. Why, you little tabby thing. What's going on?
I'm just going to go through Brian's phone to see how much he's committed to the bit.
Okay.
Are you blind? It depends. Well, I'm going really far back in these texts.
That's, well, that's actually, there's a book I read, Who Do You Trust? And the book is about the virtualization of, in small towns, you establish trust and you see it and you know it and you have reputations that precede you. So people tend to be well behaved. Then the internet comes along, everyone's got false identities and whatnot. And then you have all these structures like eBay has a seller's trust rating and Uber virtualizes trust, Airbnb and all that stuff. And so she's writing a whole book about it. So she mentions in a casual way that she makes a game out of saying, I'm writing a book on trust. Can I just take a look at your phone? And then little does the person know, like, yeah, sure. Like, and she will just help herself to anywhere. And she's mentally tracking, the casual chuckles, then the huh. Oh, you're just really and they're
Really
like,
digging in there.
meanwhile, she is counting the seconds until
Someone yanks that phone back.
Yep.
What was the limit?
That wasn't the main subject of the book. That only merited like a couple of sentences just to say how protective we are about our phones. And
Yeah.
You ever notice it was a real Seinfeld bit? Real Seinfeld, real George Carlin, little big world, small world juxtaposition. Funny observations. Maybe a little Andy Rooney thrown in there.
Well, yeah, I mean, you already did. Did you ever notice?
Yeah, but also that was a Seinfeld line. He also he didn't use those exact
No,
words.
but he didn't say it like that. Like, did you ever notice? Like, that's Andy Rooney.
Okay, no.
Yeah.
Tell me what I meant.
Seinfeld was like, well, Seinfeld was like, you ever notice?
I endeavor to have the best Seinfeld impression, and your criticisms are noted.
It's not a criticism. I was vibing with you, and then you just said Andy Rooney. I was just like, oh, but you already said Andy Rooney, because I already thought that you had done such a good job of referencing Andy Rooney.
It was as though he was there. Did you see
Yeah.
the time that Andy Rooney
He
nearly...
does these impressions. They sound like the real people.
Did you ever see the Ali G show where Andy
Oh my
Rooney
God.
got so visibly upset he looked like he was going to break down crying?
Yes.
There
was a moment, and this is obviously way pre-Borat, way obviously the Ali G movie and all that, and pre-Sacha Baron Cohen being like a legit movie star.
Yeah.
Where like that show on HBO and the early internet like clips that would surface of the British version were some of the most like transgressive, fucking amazing. You have to tell your friends.
Well, it was
ever.
uncharted territory. There was no laws, literally no laws, and no established best practices, norms. Hey, real quick, everyone in the chat, lock in your vote right now, yes or no. And Nathan, do not betray an answer. Has Nathan heard of Sacha Baron Cohen and Borat, Ali G, and Kenny named the fourth one? That lock him in.
Okay,
Lock him in.
lock it in. Lock it
And
in.
so,
We're
lots
getting-
of no's. Lots of no's. BioCal gives a yes. Lawmake says no. Fearless Freep says no. Curtis says yes, he's heard, but he can't name the fourth. Chopper says no. A lot of no's.
Nathan.
King Julian and Madagascar.
Borat 2. But
Yeah.
there were three. There were three characters, right?
Yeah, there was kind of okay. So you know Sacha Baron Cohen from Borat. Have you ever heard of the Ali G show? He's heard the name once or twice, and so you probably don't know. He actually had a movie on the third character.
Well, the Ali G show had all three characters, and then
right.
and then they did movies of all three characters, but you cannot name the third character. Yeah, Bruno.
Oh, part of you wanted to just leave that.
Yeah.
No, but it's Bruno. God, I remember working in, or I think I was helping someone at a movie theater. No, I remember what it was. I think I was setting up to do one of my stage shows at the Alamo Draft House.
Okay.
Because they were booking me to work all of the openings before the new Harry Potter movie.
Okay.
And in the middle of doing tech stuff, that's why I was in projection there. They had the Bruno movie going on. So the only scene I've seen is the ghost blowjob that goes places.
Yeah. I don't really remember that movie because I remember it not being particularly funny. The Bruno bit that I remember the most, I believe, is from the Ali G show, where the premise of the Bruno character is he's doing German television. So he has all these people from America and the UK that are on, but they're just chalking up the fact that it's odd and weird and it has a different sensibility because it's German. But he's doing a like hot or not fashion review, and his category is you are safe or off to Auschwitz.
Oh yeah. Wow.
And so, but he's doing it in this very sassy German
As
gay,
if it's a very
gay-
normal
Yes, exactly.
question
And
in
so it's like they're
Germany.
just showing like pictures of starlets from the Emmys and like their outfits with these like two fashion designers, and it's like and I think it might have even been like a weird German word for the good one, where it was like Fuhrschnagel or off to Auschwitz. Like,
right. And so they would be like, oh, well, that one's not very good. You're like, so. And then, so he definitely got everyone to say off to Auschwitz.
yeah, but the Ali G show, I mean, I remember there's few things during my college experience that I remember having the cultural resonance of either Borat's Throw the Jew Down the Well.
Which, again, for the record, it is so clear that the terrible, using scare quotes, people that they show to are like just as amazed and flummoxed as the audience at home that this is happening. Like they can't believe that this foreigner nobody's unironically cheering along or singing along with it.
Yeah, there's the one lady who starts making devil horns on her head. But other than that, I think
okay, yeah.
in general, anyway, that bit very, very funny. And then the Chappelle Show Rick James sketch.
Yep.
Was the other one that was like just ripped through society.
Yeah.
This is a segment called We Were Alive in the 2000s, 9/11 invading Iraq, and then there was the financial crisis. Obama was there at the end. It was the 2000s, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It ended with 10 because it was a new decade. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Brought to you by Subprime Mortgages.
Recurring character. Subprime Mortgages. That's 2 out of the last 3 great nights.
Exactly. Yeah. Hey, by the way, R.I.P.
To a real one.
to P-O-P-E.
Oh, man, not gonna
Do you
lie.
know where my money be?
I
Buried in the simple grave that he will be put in on Saturday. Pope Francis, a real one.
A real one.
A real one.
Skateboarding Pope.
The skateboarding Pope.
Yeah. Welcome to a
Brian
segment called.
doesn't remember what he can say publicly.
Yep, that's a little segment I like to call. Brian is just smart enough, in which your hero probably thinks incorrectly that he knows things, but also is smart enough to know to shut up. I'm sorry, officer. Am I being detained? Am I being detained? Am I being detained?
I want to explain to people that I've known Brian for a very long time in a way that only friends who have spent so much time together can know each other's thought patterns. There are certain topics that Brian just has a full, like, the topic is a coin that goes into his brain, and then 5 stories just fall out of his mouth like a gumball machine. The Pope is one of them, except I know for a fact what all 5 stories are, and I know he definitely cannot tell any of them.
So it turns out, right decision.
Very correct decision. So,
Schrodinger's cat is alive.
but yeah, it's a major news story, and it was a bit on former versions of this show.
Oh yeah,
P-O-P-E.
a recurring character.
The Pope.
Yeah, I'm the Pope.
Mm-hmm.
And yet he leads me again to the treacherous minefield. Anyway, Brian's got this allergy to landmines, so whenever he goes in a landmine field, it's really a question whether or not I'll do it. Anyway, that's the story about Brian. Here we are on this mountain. Hey, Brian, come on, walk with me down towards that swamp. But didn't you just, yeah, sure, let's walk. Oh, they're like, well, look at all these landmines.
We could address and dismiss.
I know.
That's
correct. That's great.
Maybe you could talk about what you want to talk about.
Traditionally, yes. Yes. We had successfully dismissed, and then you're like, yeah.
The Pope died.
I mean, that's how it be.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Shouts out to YouTube giving no F words about copyrighted material under 1 minute long.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know what is really, really watchable in exactly 1 minute long increments?
What's that?
The television show that I specifically designed to be very self-contained 1 minute bits for a full 2 specials in a season.
Oh, so you're just hacking the system and throwing it up there?
I would say I am lovingly crafting remixes of the fine content in hacking.
Artisanal remixes.
Artisanal remixes brought to you by the same guy who's in the show.
Hill country of Austin, Texas, there's a man who handcrafts remixes. Ding, 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 ding.
There are some moments where, new sentence, speaking generally, not about anything specific.
Yep, not about any popes. Just so we know, don't expect the Pope to show up in this story.
Now I know. Now I know.
This is a story that has no popes, living or dead. Living or dead.
Now I know what GPT 4.0 feels like. Like, we're in a white room, no elephant, no popes. Not here. It
Not
is.
a single pope.
Oh, there's so many popes. Here's an emoji of a scorpion. What? So in general, there's different programs have different languages that they have to speak because of structural constraints, and there's certain things that you cannot do, and then publish them on certain shows.
Yeah.
Some of them on the television look really cool, and you're like, that's really cool. But some people don't have production vision, and some people don't think, really,
Yeah.
really, that crime in broad daylight.
Sure.
Recorded on video.
Yeah.
Approved by standards and practices. Somebody being defrauded. Right there. Well, can I see it?
Yeah.
No. Anyway, some of those hacking the system segments, I'm like, whoo, that's some reality television there. And then I see the comments that ask fairly reasonable questions, and there was only one response. Ha!
Yeah.
That's all I could say. Anyway, they're great, man. They're great.
Yeah, they're doing well.
Well, yeah, and it made me watching those made me think about what a return to form this era of Modern Rogue is going through, where it's like, I don't know, just getting down to brass tacks. Like we've been talking about the production pipeline and fast turnarounds. Like I don't know if you're
just getting to the market fast.
Okay,
with good shit.
On Friday, Bill Oakley gave me an hour and 15 minutes, and I was able to publish Sunday night, and it's good, and it looks good, and it's all color corrected, and it plays, and you get stories like there's that. So in YouTube land, a good title is two things that so obviously can't possibly go together that you're like, really? And then you watch it and you're like, well, I'll be damned. It sure did, right? And there was one moment that I was poking Bill, and you could tell he was accessing the memory, and his pupils dilated. He got excited as he was talking about his early days when he was actively involved with America's Most Wanted. And he was talking about the night where live on the air, somebody saw the program, and they're like, yeah, that guy, that murderer that you just saw, he's in the hotel room sleeping next door. And they're like, really? And so on the show, like, and you could tell visibly, and then it hit me, the Steamed Hams writer helped catch murderers, which became the title of the interview. But anyway, it's good to be able to turn stuff around quick.
Yeah, dude. No, that's what the internet needs.
Yeah.
That endless gob just needs content. And then you fucking like sweat for a year, and you're like, oh my God, I've created the most perfect piece of art. And it goes, more content.
And it's like, great, maybe it'll turn into something.
Yeah.
They're all like, nope, nobody mocked it.
So it's a failure.
Yes, exactly.
Weirdly, you need to be mocked to be liked.
I'll tell you what, man, if there's one thing that, I don't know, I remember you explaining the whole heel turn, face turn thing, where it's like it's all just energy. Where it gets pointed, good, bad.
Well, that's what like megastars in today's world need to be equally loved and hated. Like if you think about the people that are the most famous in the world right now, some of them may or may not be president of the United States, but they are marked by like near 50% hatred and absolute adoration.
Right.
That is true popularity.
Well, on the, I don't know that I'd ever want half the world hating my guts, but on the flip side, like I just picture a tombstone and it says, "Here lies Brian Brushwood. Not one person on the planet had anything negative to say about him." And I'm like, do I want to be that guy? The things I don't have.
I mean, you don't get any like a Sizzler gift certificate in heaven for it.
Right? It's like perfect score. You sat very still your entire lifetime.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Nary one person became upset by anything you said or did. Congrats?
Good
Question mark?
for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
You think it's weird that all lawyers? Okay, someone commits a crime, right?
Yeah.
Somebody murders someone,
go on. I'm listening.
and so we're like,
Yeah.
hey, we got to stop that murder,
Hot.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
So we throw them in a cage. Hard to
Boom.
murder people alone in a cage.
When you're in a
right?
cage,
and then
yeah.
also it's like, well,
Unless you're one of those now you see me folks.
Yeah.
Then they'll figure it
okay,
out.
all right. And so then it's like somebody goes, ding, ding, ding. All right, we got this guy who broke a rule. He's in a cage. We got to figure out what to do with him. And to do it, we're going to have a storytelling contest. Gather around, everyone. Now, of course, you need an audience. So who wants to be judges? Okay, all right. Yeah. And audience. Okay. And then, all right, round one. Ding, ding. Well, let me tell you a story about this guy. And then say a bunch of things. All right, ding. Hold on, there are rules, whatever. It's a fucking storytelling contest, and the winner causes
The
the
legal
audience.
system is a storytelling contest.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Gotcha.
What-
Yeah, no, we got. Yes, sorry. Yes, it took me a minute to catch up with you, but
Yeah,
yes.
sorry.
Yeah, no. When you think of it like that, that is odd. That it's like, oh, we have to go hire professional storytellers
because I'm not
who
very
know
good.
the rules to storytelling.
Yes.
Right. Because there's probably a
And,
lot of
that's
other.
why- also, we have rules for storytelling.
very. That's the.
And if
you
you
have
break
to go to
those
school
rules,
for the
you
rules.
get thrown in a cage.
Because there's plenty of people that are good at it that just know the rules that
Right.
aren't great storytellers, but they know the rules.
Right.
And so like that's more important is the rules of storytelling than the storytelling itself.
Yeah. And then that, like, if you tell a story bad enough, you get killed. Somebody's
If your
like,
storyteller is bad at telling stories.
yeah, or if you try to tell your own story and you
but
don't really
also,
know the
no,
rules.
It's not totally that, right? Because you do have to start with the prompt of the crime. So like if it's a very disputed crime, then a good story will probably get you farther than if it's a real open and shut case.
Mm-hmm.
And your storyteller has like really limited room to work, right?
Yeah.
Like they're telling like a real like crap Pluto TV original like bullshit story, right?
It's a step above stock footage.
Yeah, like it's a stinky. It's like here's how the man who didn't have legs won the World Cup, and it's like, wait, how? It's like he dreamed it. It's like that sucks. That's boring and stupid.
Well, and plus also there.
Boo! Death penalty.
What? Think about this. Sometimes people want a certain story so bad that like they don't care how good it's told. They're all like, no, we don't like that story. We want this other story, and it's
Yeah.
like just tell us the story we want.
Yeah, give us your story. I don't
like-
know. I don't know how the jury would do that though.
They would go.
Yeah, they'd want it though. They would
Yeah,
want.
I mean they might as well be screaming and throwing popcorn.
The OJ jury, they got the story they wanted.
That dude gave a Black Power salute.
Mm-hmm.
That you know what? I'm beginning to think some of those people were for jury nullification.
I think so.
By the way, this first word is going to be out of my mouth if I'm ever in jury duty.
Jury nullification.
Yeah.
Oh, I have jury duty coming up.
Just say as much as you can. I do a podcast. We just learned all about jury nullification. This is going to be fascinating.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what
Nullify this jury.
bing, out you go.
Yeah. What is that? What is jury nullification? I need you
It's-
to explain it to me for the clip that I can show.
There's a non-zero chance that the very act of me explaining jury nullification
Okay.
on the internet in a broadcast platform
Gets us out of jury duty forever.
is a type of story that will land me in a cage
Bullshit.
where other
no,
people have
you can't
to,
explain it?
because
Can I have ChatGPT explain it?
Yes,
Okay.
I would like that very much.
All right, hold on. Let me call my friend.
You know what? Actually, you do whatever you want. I cannot tell you what to do.
Hey, my friend's a pussy and won't explain jury nullification to me. Please explain jury nullification.
Jury nullification is when a jury returns a... Did you want to know how it works in practice or why jurors might choose to do it?
I just want to know what it is. I don't know what it is.
Gotcha. Jury nullification is when a jury decides to acquit a defendant, even if they think the person is guilty based on the evidence. It's usually done because the jury disagrees with the law or thinks applying it in that case would be unjust.
All right, so if I wanted to nullify a jury, hold on. I'm writing a story about a man who nullifies a jury. What would I want to do if I really wanted to do it? Like, how would I act? In fact, come up with the first line I would say when they were interviewing me, as if I'm a character in a story where I'm about to nullify the shit out of this jury.
For a character aiming to do jury nullification, a bold first line could be, "Ladies and gentlemen, we are not just here to judge a man, but to judge a law that demands our conscience." This sets the tone that your character has strong convictions and is ready to challenge the status quo.
All right, do that in an Australian accent, though.
Righto, folks, we're not just here to judge a bloke, but to judge a law that demands our conscience, eh?
Okay, what about an Indian accent?
All right, everyone, we are not simply here to judge a man, but to judge a law that requires our conscience, okay?
All right, now in that voice, call Brian Brushwood a pussy.
Let's keep it respectful.
All right. I've always thought ChatGPT had class, grace, and panache.
All right. Well, maybe, I don't know. Maybe I won't pull anything when I go to do jury duty. My first time doing jury duty here in Texas.
I believe it is a crime to incite that. Like, certainly if you're on a jury.
I would never incite it.
Yeah. No, well, that's why I was saying, you seem to have something in your eye.
No.
Video. Oh, we already saw that. Why are you telling us what we saw?
Anyway. I would never do that.
Yeah.
I would just be like, damn, I read Wikipedia and I was on another thing, and then it linked
maybe if you
me
asked them for help,
jury nullification.
You're like, I have a question. How does jury nullification work? And just ask.
Yeah, I'm curious. Is jury nullification illegal?
That's yeah.
Is it illegal for me to try to?
Is it immoral?
Deliberately? Yeah. Nullify the jury.
Oh, and they'll say yes,
like,
it is illegal.
And I'll be like, shit. Oh. Damn.
They may be
that might fuck my whole shit up.
They may be daring you to fuck around and find out. So that's the other thing is like
but the lawyers. I mean, I guess the judge might, but like the lawyers aren't going to care. They just want to find out who's there for their own purposes.
Yeah,
right?
But like let's say it's the type of person you're defending.
Yeah, I'm not going to do any of this shit though. I'm just going to go to jury duty. No.
I'm sorry, I had something in my eye. I don't know what just happened there.
You're a pussy. Just fucking wink. The video people deserve it.
They should tune in.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I'll do my time. I like social responsibility.
Yeah.
Until it fucks with me in any bit of my life.
Yeah.
I like the idea of social responsibility. It's kind of like taxes. Like everybody paid their taxes over the past few days. I'll say this. I said this a couple years ago. I'll never like them.
No. You're against them?
Well, I mean, I'm not like a taxation is theft kind of guy, but I'm getting there. I think the point I made a few years ago in this show is that like we do a lot of talking about like, oh, well, if you make a lot of money, then a smaller amount of money proportionally matters the same amount to you, right? So it's like for us, it's like, oh, well, for what we would think of as 5 cents, Elon Musk thinks of as $1 million or something like that. And I understand that. And maybe there is some kind of threshold for which the way you think about money becomes different.
Yeah.
I'm just here to say I haven't hit it yet.
Yeah.
Like,
oh no, you notice. You notice.
Oh yeah. And it's like, yes, you made that money. Yes, you owe that money. But boy, does it not ever feel good. And I'm never like, whew, that felt exactly like last year. It's always like, whew, this is bad. I don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't like it one bit.
I just see here's another minefield. Is like if I take another step forward, it's just a giant bowl. Yeah, one wrong step, and suddenly it's an hour and a half of unironic fuck taxes.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I don't want to leave you down the prim pope path or anything.
Gotcha. Yep.
Well, I want to remind
Oh,
everybody.
wait a minute. Sweet Pete Man has it. If they arrest you for jury nullification, demand a jury trial, then they have to explain to that jury what nullification is. But then, in which case, they'll probably, seeing the trouble it caused you to do nullification, they'll probably get the message real fast
Would
that
it
they need
be
to find you guilty.
a really good career decision for me, since my nickname is Jury, to get arrested for jury nullification?
If your deepest ambition was to
Be successful in
one
life?
joke in a monologue on primetime television, then yes. Or
Oh, no, it
late
wouldn't
night
be for
television.
them. It would be for literally everybody in the audience now. They're the only people who know me as Jury.
Well, I know, but my point is like
They'd be like, fuck yeah. They'd be like getting pictures of my face on their t-shirts
because
and shit.
you're in jail.
Yeah.
And they would
Do you
like.
think, since when does going to jail make people less popular?
Well, when they stop doing their podcast, and
Yeah,
then
but-
all of a sudden, like, man, I used to have this favorite podcast, and then it just stopped. I'm so happy about that. I'm gonna wear a shirt.
No, they'd be mad. You don't think that people would rally to my defense if I went to jail for jury
Well,
nullification?
it sounds like you're definitely guilty of a crime in this scenario, and also,
no, I'm guilty of marketing ideas.
all right.
Oh, I'm sorry. Fucking. So I think we do a thing. I'd like to give the world a Coke. Straight to jail, you fucker. Like, oh, I'm sorry. Marketing's illegal now.
Well,
marketing's totally illegal. Where's the beef? Gulag. Get the fuck out of here.
So the plan, as I understand it, is to
Love
get yourself.
spitballing. There's no bad ideas in a brainstorm.
In theory, the timeline goes.
Yeah.
You commit a crime and go to jail, and you make.
Can I pause you?
Oh, sure.
In the timeline. So yes, I do. Everything you said is true.
Okay. Yes.
Everything you said is true.
Yes.
But what I think you're kind of skipping over is that most people don't know it's a crime. So they think
you're
it's kind
raising
of bullshit.
awareness.
They think it's kind of bullshit. Yeah.
You're starting the conversation. You're doing the hard work.
Well, I don't know. I'm not gonna get. Look, some people might say that. That's fine.
I certainly won't dispute
Some people
it.
might. I mean, like, I can't control what the discourse says.
Yeah.
But mostly, it's just that I'm not going to jail for like murder or embezzlement or something like that. Things that people know are crimes.
Yeah.
You had to explain to me that
Yeah.
that was a crime.
Yeah. Well, kind
Now
of like the
I
cop
know.
says it has to explain that going 105 in a 40 is a crime.
Well, but even then, people see number and
Yeah.
they're like, "I go more than number crime."
Well,
Like,
I mean,
yes.
at the end of the day, they are doing a number. So,
Anyway,
who's
so
say the
yeah, I
right
would
one?
go to jail for a thing that people don't usually know is a crime.
Yeah.
And then they would rally to my defense.
Okay, but again, you
They would say like, free jury, nullify the nullification. We are a racist nation.
Yeah, all right. So now you do know that in this scenario you don't get to see any of this. You're just alone in a cage, right?
I'm not in fucking like solitary confinement.
Well, yeah, but
you don't
they-
think that I would have any access to like
they
a
don't bring you
television
out.
in the commissary?
You think it's gonna make the TV?
I don't know.
What
Man.
do you think? You think you're
What's well? To be totally honest, when's the last time you actually watched a local news broadcast? Who knows what fucking makes the local news?
Oh yeah.
Oh, by the way, if you live in the Indianapolis area, contact the television or radio station that you listen the most.
Yeah, because it's coming up.
There's
I want-
next week. There is going to be a world record Automatone concert that is happening at Western Boone Junior Senior High School, May 1st, Thursday at 7 p.m. And I just sent out the press release to all local media in Indianapolis. We would love to get press for this, mostly because a bunch of high school kids got randomly delivered 80 automatones and learned how to play them in an orchestra. So I would love for them to get a local TV crew or something like that there just to record it. So tell your congressman, tell whoever you see on radio or TV that they should do it.
The Automatone, I wanted you to know that just last night, I was over at a neighbor's place, Callie and her friend. It was his dad, and so you go inside someone's inner sanctum with you instantly kind of grok what kind of fellow nerd they are based on their bookshelf and all that stuff. And one of the things he had, so we're talking about Stephen King stuff, and he's got a Pip-Boy, so we're talking about Fallout and stuff. And then Callie picks up the Automatone, and she goes, "This is so cool." And then I was like, and I told her, and among 12-year-olds, you are gods. When I described the plan, they are like, "Get out." I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Yeah." So I'm gonna need videos and recordings.
Yeah, I think we're gonna be able to do it because they're doing.
It is probably not super kosher to come in and just
Oh no, we have the blessing.
Licenses.
We have the blessing of the high school to record it. The question is whether or not we can reproduce it because of what they're doing. And I guess I put it in the press release. So they're gonna do the 2001
the
theme.
The Thus Sprach Zarathustra.
That's it. Yeah. And then the Star Wars theme.
Oh,
the Star Wars
that's
theme.
harder. That's hard to do full stop.
Yes.
Boy, if you want to know whether or not a high school band has their chops, get them to play Star Wars.
Yeah.
That opening fanfare. Oh, that's going to be a moment.
So they're doing it where they're literally going to have. They're going to have somebody come out and warm up the orchestra, the Automatone orchestra.
Yeah.
And then have the conductor come out and conduct the Automatone orchestra. But yeah, it's gonna be really fun. I hope somebody picks it up. I haven't checked the email yet to see if anybody got back to us.
But
honestly,
they
it's
get a
Indianapolis.
lot
what the fuck
of
else
noise.
is happening? Please don't tell them I said that.
They got a lot of noise for those local interest stories. Although that's pretty good. They have to be thinking it's a slam dunk in terms of like the visuals and the audio.
I would say for a morning show.
Oh yeah,
it's like you bring 3 of the kids in. They do a little mini version of it, like for the morning show, and then morning show hosts are like, "Oh my god, that's so great! Western Boone Junior Senior High School tonight, the spring concert." Like I just see the segment in my head.
Yeah.
Bob and Tom shows out of Indianapolis too.
Well, that one, to be honest, that's going to be an easier get.
Really?
Oh yeah, because it's audio based.
Yeah,
it's local, and it'll be from. There's a nationwide tie-in because of the sponsorship from a political podcast.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I'm not really in like. I'm not in political mode for this one.
Yeah,
I'm kind of an ancillary.
Yeah. Okay. Do me little advice.
Yeah.
Be the guys from the podcast.
Oh, no, we are the.
Did a thing.
No, we are the guys from the podcast.
Otherwise, like Heaton, I would not put it past him, bless his heart, to say, "Well, I'd rather be known as just a patron of the arts." Yeah. No, you do not. You do not want to be a patron of the arts with giving a bunch of kids automatones.
I can read you the press release. But with that kind of endorsement, maybe not.
Yes.
All right. Indy is the headline. They're the subject line. Indy High School attempts world record with ridiculous Japanese instrument.
Okay, quick question. Chat
Not here for
wrote
notes.
that?
Not here for notes.
Okay.
No, I wrote that.
Okay.
Western Boone to host largest Automatone orchestra in world history. Podcast host donate instruments after bold music teacher accepts unusual challenge. Lebanon, Indiana. It's part music, part comedy, and potentially a world record. Western Boone Junior Senior High School is assembling America's largest Automatone orchestra. The Automatone, a Japanese synthesizer shaped like a musical note with a comically expressive face, is typically treated as a novelty, but at Western Boone, it's becoming a symbol of musical innovation and courage. Media are encouraged to capture this visually striking and delightfully absurd performance. And then it goes into, we made a bold challenge on the podcast, and there was only one person who had the bravery to take on the challenge, and that was Leslie, who is the band director there at
That's awesome.
Western Boone.
That's awesome. So I guess that's out, but you haven't heard back yet?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
How many folks are going to be there? I mean, how big is you said 80?
80 is the piece. There's 80 automatones.
Yeah. And then how long do they get to practice?
I don't know. I guess we sent them there like in December.
Oh, so they've had a minute.
They've had a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
No. They because we actually had the option to try to do their fall one if we had like pushed it really fast, and then we're like, no.
No.
Give them time.
No, like a fine wine.
Give them time.
Let it age. We want polished, tight. 5, 6, 7, 8. Here's the part you're gonna laugh because I'm calling it out right now. The thing about that fanfare done by kids is you kind of there's a calibration and you're forgiving it and it goes bum 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 and they'll pretty much have that, but then it's the sweet part where it's like.
Oh, when it goes low, yeah.
And then that'll be the part that gets you the giggles.
Well, I mean, I would imagine, yeah, they're gonna have their most skilled automaton like soloist that does the like.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, yeah, because normally that's a section in the orchestra, but I guess you could do
With 80, I don't know.
I mean, what are you gonna pick? Just one? You probably should. You should.
You
pick
probably
one.
should. I mean, like,
should
how
pick
good
one,
are
give
these
to one.
kids gonna be about
That's
the
thing.
fucking? Yeah,
That's the thing. Is like you could have 9 very talented, perfect pitch, automaton playing motherfuckers. Everyone's only gonna hear number 10.
yeah. This could be a total shit show.
We'll know if suddenly we don't hear anything about it again.
It could just be us getting a lot of Indiana parents mad at us. We could just.
And a lot of because before the show, are you gonna record this and play it on your podcast after the show? You recorded this. You're gonna play it on your podcast.
All I know is this: we're not spent. The high school's about 40 minutes outside of Indianapolis downtown. And I'm telling you right now, we ain't spending a goddamn second longer than we have to in Thorntown, Indiana. Not to say that it's not a lovely town. I'm sure it is. But we're bobbing in and out. We're going to get back to downtown as soon as possible because it's next to the airport. And also, the most fun I'm going to have with this is during the concert, there will be no basking in an afterglow. The kids. That's for the kids.
You're not here to. I mean, all they want is your approval. It's a command performance. They're giving you a command performance.
High fives. Good job. Great job. Everybody, awesome.
And then
out.
Okay.
Right.
Is
that not the right move?
Well, okay. How there are 80 of them, right?
Yeah.
It seems like, and if what they seek is your approval. Cutting off and getting out real fast probably doesn't radiate approval.
Well, we're businessmen. We have business.
Okay. All right.
Do kids in the Midwest not have absentee parents? Like,
right.
Do they not know how this works?
No. If you want to really play the businessman,
yeah,
here's what you do. You're like, great time. You're like, gather around, all of you. Fantastic. I want you to know it's the biggest thing ever. All of you. Big round of applause. They all go nuts. So like, great. Now, if you'll just put your automatones in the basket, we'll be on our way back home.
I mean, so should there be all right, and now 50 pizzas? Like should it be like a move like that? Or
No. I'm just saying the gift, the most.
Because here's my fear. We're already flying across the country to come see a high school spring concert.
Yeah.
Right? In and of itself, I think the joke is what it is. It plays. We can set it up. It's going to be fun. I hope to get the kids some attention from local media. Like that's the give back for them learning an instrument as an inside joke on our podcast. But then there does cross a line, does it not, where it's just a bunch of adults celebrating with high school kids? Like, we're not Coach Carter Like we didn't sit there and work through this entire process. I hit a button on Amazon and then I flew to Indy to come see a concert.
So this is a core identity thing that you're skipping over, and whether you want to protest this or not,
Okay.
to the eyes of all of these children,
Yeah.
you are a celebrity, which means the Penn and Teller protocol engages, which means you are there until there's not one hand that still needs to be shaken and not one selfie that needs to be taken.
Oh, I'm there for that.
Okay. Well,
I'm
then,
there for that.
All right. Well, then we're fine.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That's
Because
that's
also,
fairly
no.
different from I'm there for the show and then.
Okay,
out.
no.
You know what? Audio. You didn't see that he did a
No, you don't do that. That's not the
hitchhiker
way.
thing. I'm the little brother
God
of,
damn, you're
of
the
video.
opposite of video. You're the guy
I'm the
who's-
nice one.
Damn it.
They call me Cap Sheep. I'm like closed caption for seeing things. For science. I'm the rich midi palms of Justin Robert Young, shape
Jesus.
into a fist. A hitchhiker's thumb emerges. With a jerk and disdain, he points, gesturing
My
towards the
point
road
wasn't to say
behind
that
him.
we would abandon them. My point is to say that you don't want to overstay your welcome
Yes.
when it's a bunch of high school kids that are playing instruments that they might hate, right? That's the
Yes.
other thing, is that like this might be a very annoying thing that they did.
Well, and then this is a blind spot.
This might be a
on my
fun
part.
thing for their band teacher and they hate it. They might hate us.
Yeah, but they're not going to say anything to you.
No, they're quiet. They're Midwestern.
Yeah.
They're Midwestern band kids.
Well, it's, yeah. And so the yeah. Also, maybe it never occurred to me that the thing you were loudly saying you're not going to do is what sounds like a fairly abnormal thing, which is long after the selfies and the handshakes still hang around with high school kids.
Yes.
I'm wondering why you would
I did
say
not-
that you're not going to do that. Is that a thing that was on the menu for you and you're deciding not to
Mike,
do it?
you're the one who stuck with this. I didn't think this was going to be a long conversation.
Well, no, you just
I just was like,
you-
hey,
you
we're gonna be there,
described-
we're gonna do the thing, and then we're getting out of there. And you're
You
like,
know-
whoa, wait a minute. So hold on, I'm gonna flip this back
All right,
on you.
no.
So why were
To
you
me-
so excited to stay around with high school kids?
No, because it was so funny to me that you're like, all right, and I know what you're thinking. I'm just gonna watch the show and then I'm out. I'm not gonna hang around. I'm not gonna creep out. I'm not gonna float 4 or 5 hours after. No, I'm there only for the show. I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know what anyone else is thinking, but I'm gonna leave after the show.
I don't believe I went on that long.
No, what I am
I-
accentuating for effect.
I think I just said, yeah, no, because one would not want to hang out any longer than they had to at a high school spring concert at
Which
Western
is
Boone
why
Junior
it's
Senior High
weird
School.
that you felt the need to say that you wouldn't.
I think I was more just talking about logistics of like,
Oh,
we're gonna go to a
you're-
thing and then we're gonna come back to
You're like,
downtown Indianapolis.
like a
Mostly because
scalpel.
I've actually spent what I was doing right before I came out here for the show was trying to figure out the logistics because fucking one of the co-hosts of the show that is involved in this that's coming to Indianapolis. By the way, Jen's not coming to Indianapolis. I'll leave it up to the imagination who I'm talking about. But when I was like, hey, I'll rent a car. Should we rent a fancy car? LOL, maybe a limo. He goes, limo. Yes, we should get a limo. So I was getting quotes for a limo.
Okay, now this is making more sense.
And then I was like, wow, fucking like, well, where do you want to stay? But I'm like, all right, look, I'm a new father. I don't travel in the way that I used to. So now it's like, oh, wait, a night out with a friend of mine who now doesn't live locally anymore. Like I get to hang out with Heaton for a night. I'm like, let's not just do a random, hotel 20 minutes outside of town. That's an easier drive.
Yeah.
Let's do one downtown so we can actually have like a little fun night. And so now I'm like, okay, so let me do the math. Now I'm doing limo math.
Yeah.
Now we go back and forth. Like how late are bars open in Indianapolis downtown on a Thursday night? Like
It's making it like each of these details makes it increasingly incompatible with being authentic and present with these kids. Like,
Yes!
and we'll dress up as bears.
Yeah.
And we'll growl during the performance. And then we'll look them in the eye and say they did very hard work and we really appreciate it. We'll be very sincere and
By
present.
the way, what's wrong with being a Midwestern band kid? Nothing. Nothing's wrong. Look, I just bought fucking 40 Automatones personally for Midwestern band kids. I'm all in. I've done more for Midwestern band kids than you have, Sazerac.
All right.
But that being said, yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what the logistics are. Because also, it's like I haven't been in Indy for. I mean, I think there was some convention down there that I was down there for, but like that is a fun downtown. Like you can like pop around. There's a few things that are going on down there.
I was only there for NACA conferences, and I just have vague memories of it being fairly buttoned up.
Well, it is like. You know, it ain't
Yeah, I think
exactly
we
New
talked about
Orleans.
this. Yeah.
You know, it's not like people are whipping their titties out.
I guess race cars. That's their flavor.
The Indy 500.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Colts
How much do you think it costs to jog a lap?
on the Indy 500.
Yeah.
I mean, you could probably just know a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you
I
could,
bet you if you were jogging,
Mhm.
if you did all 500 laps on the 499th lap, that you know what you'd think?
What?
Patreon.com/Great Night is
Oh,
where
yeah.
you have to go if you want to get a bonus episode of this show each and every week. Head on over there right now. Support us. We thank you for doing such. It's great. Patreon.com/Great Night. And then you'd probably collapse. That's a long way. I don't know if anybody.
I was about
could
to
really
say, no, I
jog
was
that.
only thinking
Yeah.
maybe one lap because it's what, a mile, right?
Yeah, so what,
Yeah.
500 plus 2.5 miles? That's a lot. That's a lot of miles.
It's 2.5 mile.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is the Indy track.
Yeah. Oh man, you made Kazakh retract all his messages. Oh.
Yeah, he's mostly been a dickhead.
Oh.
But he said one thing that I wanted to react to, but that's
I
why
see.
I was spicy a little bit to
That
him.
was okay. I did notice.
Yeah.
I was like, Justin's normally got a smooth gradient in his spice.
Nope.
His
I put a little
spice
grit. I put
Yeah.
a little grit.
No,
in there.
it was
he
it
was-
went
he was
straight
misbehaving,
from
yeah.
3. Yeah. All right. No, then that's all right.
Mama told me not to. I'm gonna do it anyway.
Misbehaving. Is that how far along in the season are we?
All but 2 episodes remain in the series.
Man, I can't. It's like pushing a slug into a blender, trying to get my family to watch Gemstones. It's gonna Pope
frame it.
one of the real ones.
Now you're-
So where's the ripcord? Where's the ripcord?
yeah, my
Out
real dad.
pops the Pope's hat descending.
My real dad is a troubled dad on this season of Gemstones.
What?
Michael Rooker.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Very awesome.
Michael Rooker, and he's great. He fits in perfectly into the Gemstone universe.
Kazakh apologized.
Oh man, no, I love you, Kazakh. Sorry, man. Hey, this is just my love language.
Yeah.
Talking shit to the
It
chat.
actually is. I
Yeah.
mean, that's actually not even
Just
an
so
exaggeration.
you know, just so you know, we're good now. man.
That's actually
We're good now.
that was pretty early on. Was throwing each other a little bit of sass was how we knew each other were cool.
Oh yeah, no, totally. I remember one of the first times that we ran into Ryan Connolly of Film Riot. He was like, man, you're really lucky that very early on you were just mean to chat people and commenters. Because
you had
nobody ever expects anything other than you just saying whatever you want to them.
Yeah.
Whereas if you start your career as like a nice, accommodating guy, and then you're like, hey, you want to know what? Fuck you. I've had a rough birthday. Like, that is like, whoa, everybody goes quiet. And it's
Yeah.
like, hey, man, I'm so sorry, blah, 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 blah. But it's like, if you're just known for that, it's like, hey, and you should die of AIDS. They're like, oh, classic jury. I'm so excited.
You're like, that means he's fond of you. He thinks you're pretty great. It's a term of endearment.
But yeah. So,
Just Another Pilot says Tom Merritt, the anti-gerbs. It was also Tom Merritt who said the wise and prescient phrase that sticks with us to this very day. We're both thinking of it. Tom Merritt said, you get the chat room you deserve.
Put it in a stained glass window
Yeah.
in my house.
So you know what?
Seriously, somebody go do
this
it.
is, and actually this is kind of, we got a little social object lesson here. Kazakh is demonstrating flying right, and so we give salute.
Cheers. Yeah.
Salute.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
A good Pope story
good,
to you.
Good Pope to you.
Good Pope to you.
Good Pope to you.
Uh-huh.
Man, how many? That's my third Pope to die. No, only the second. Third one, the second one. No.
No,
Yeah.
you've had 3. I've had 3.
Yeah, no. He didn't die as Pope.
Oh, he just died. Yeah, you're right.
He was just a guy.
He bowed out.
Now
was
he's
a
just
weird
some
one.
Pope I used to know. That was just some Pope I used to know.
Some Pope that I used to know. Some Pope. But you didn't have to rat slinger.
but you actually
Are you remembering that he was a Nazi?
Yes.
That was a thing he used to do, but then he was the Pope and he just said nope, some Pope. Yeah, that Pope was out, dude. That Pope, I didn't know you could do that.
You apparently couldn't. It was highly unconventional.
But yet people let him.
Yeah,
He couldn't have been popular.
I was watching the documentary, the young Pope.
Yeah.
Man, Vatican, crazy.
There's some shit that goes on there historically.
They got a copy of Scam School in the basement. I've seen a picture.
Mm-hmm.
I'd imagine.
Just a shell of one of the stories fell off. A shell, just
Gonna tiptoe over it. Gonna go back to
just shrapnel.
just wave my arms. Make a joke. I'm gonna describe the video. Brian hunches over awkwardly, unsure whether or not it's his path is clear.
Yeah, man. Would you want to be in a conclave?
Oh man, that'd be. You know what?
Just you
All right,
and
hold on.
just you and a couple hundred of your bros
Yeah,
sitting in the Sistine Chapel.
let me introduce you.
hashing shit out.
Let me. First thing I do, I'd stand up. I'd be like, gentlemen, are you guys familiar with conclave nullification?
You know that's illegal.
Ali G's the Pope. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we did it.
Do we want to play a game, or are we just?
How
we
long
just,
has it been? An hour? We can keep going.
Been an hour. You want to play the conclave game, where we all sit
okay,
and,
all right.
and decide something?
Okay.
World's greatest conclave.
Oh, by the way, I did my homework twice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Good bones.
This is something
This
we
is
should
another-
definitely not talk about
Pope.
on air. Yeah. We
Pope,
should,
Pope,
let's
Pope.
pope this one. Let's
Prank
pope
Pope.
this one.
Prank Pope. Prank Pope.
By the way, I had a little bit of a crossover, and I think I might actually reach out to him and see whether or not he wants to come on the show. But all of a sudden, in my political feed, the Attorney General of New York, Letitia James, all of a sudden, about 2 weeks ago, this big story popped out about how she had owned a house in Virginia that she wasn't legally supposed to own, that she had filed false paperwork for it. And then she had also owned like some houses in New York that were had paperwork that wasn't correctly filed. And in my head, I was like, oh, that's weird that she was a Trump antagonist. Now all of a sudden, all this stuff is coming up about her. What I found out was this is something that's being investigated by the authorities, but the authorities didn't come upon it themselves. A fully fleshed fully fleshed out financial investigation just showed up at their doorstep, totally fully formed, done totally pro bono by Sam Antar.
Really?
Yeah. Who is one of the
Really?
antagonists or protagonists of
Yeah.
the more
World's
recent
Greatest
episodes of
Con.
World's Greatest Con, the Crazy Eddie episodes. But yeah, he is a tremendous forensic accountant. He is somebody that
He would know.
and it wears it on his sleeve. He's like, look, I'm a felon. I'm a felon because I committed really successful financial crimes. And so I know what it looks like when people are trying to hide shit. I know where you try to hide shit. And so, yeah, he just did vigilante financial accounting. I'm going to assume, he did not say it in the one interview that I saw, but I'm going to assume it's because he has a political leaning that is not favorable of Letitia James. But turns out Sam Antar is a guy who's like, okay, I'm going to pull all these public records and all these bank records, and I'm
Wow.
going to prove that you lied on your bank loans, and so now you should face
Whoops.
repercussions for it.
Yeah, dude. I'll tell you what, man. That's a human using human minutes to do that stuff. Now that we got when agentic robots hey Teddy, you like electricity? I want you to stay on that forever.
I know, yeah. I just need Sam Antar to just fine tune a financial model for me.
Yeah.
just give me all the like. All right, this is how things are actually taught. But also, if you were going to, how would you?
If you were gonna nullify a jury,
If you were gonna,
if you were
how would
gonna
you?
do a
How would
little
you?
bit of maybe a little bit of woo, woo,
And then you're gonna.
woo. I'm sorry, officer. I was just trying to. Your Honor, I didn't know I could. Woo. I'm sorry, sir. I was just. Ooga. I don't think we're gonna beat that, man.
All I can think of is that, but you're trying to explain the election of the new pope. Well, you know, you have the cardinals, and all the cardinals come in, and they go, hey, yeah. And then there's one, yeah, a day, and then after that, there's four, ming, 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 a day.
Somebody says white smoke, and he goes. Yeah.
All right, bye.
Popes.
Pope's
Popes
million.
out.
Yeah, it's been a great night.
Shine on, you crazy diamonds.
I don't know if we do music anymore.
We don't have the music. We'll get it next week.
We'll get it next week.
We'll get it next week.
Hey, we'll get it next week.
We'll get it next week.
Guys, hey, Kazak,
Yeah. Kazik. Yeah.
Kazik, we'll get it next week, man. Don't worry.
Kazik was really gratified to know this is really live. That's man, those are the real ones. The folks who do who did like call in community access talk shows.
Yeah. Oh, and
Real
they would
ones.
be like, "Oh, we just want to see if this is really live."
Oh well, or just might as well call it like I double dog dare you to prank call us the show.
Yes. Yeah.
We're gonna try really hard to be on time. Whoa!
You know, Prince Albert is in a can.
No, there was one. I'm not gonna say which of my friends, but they were calling. Somebody was making a bunch of comments about libertarianism. They were holding court. And he goes, "Hey, libertarians, you believe like everything?" He was like, "Yeah." It's like, well, what about bestiality? And then he was affecting a character. It's like, well, no, but animals are property. So what you do with your property is yours. He's like, yeah, but what if it's smarter than you? Like a dolphin. But I thought was hilarious. What if it's smarter than you? Like a dolphin. All right. We're going to wrap it up.
Is the show over?
Yeah. You know what?
Okay.
That's the show.
Cut it.
Okay. We're still live.
Okay, well here, while we're doing that, let me check and see. We were dropping frames like a
Yeah, we were dropping frames like we were dropping lames in the streets.
Oh yeah, that'll do her. 4K 60 frames per second.
Hell yeah.
Not on my watch.
Hell yeah, dude. We're trying to put this on the sphere.
Yeah.
We're trying to put
We didn't
this
run.
up
Did we run
in
this?
IMAX.
Yeah. All right. All right. Well, here we're gonna drop the stream, beautiful.
We're gonna
people.
drop a lot of frames right now.
Yeah.
We're gonna drop all the frames. I was wondering.